Okay, so I'm going to jump right into it. Two jobs I love, two jobs that not too much. Let's talk about this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More with Jan channel. This is sort of like an and more topic, but it is related to money because after all, we're earning money on our jobs. But here are the two jobs that honestly I really, really love. I did love teaching. Teaching was an amazing time. Worked with amazing people, people I knew since I was a child, and I was returning to the same school where I went to school, but this time as a teacher and not as a student. It was very rewarding. More or less, it was autonomous because I taught in a self-contained classroom, all subjects, every subject, including religion. And it was an amazing time. That's all I could say. I mean, and that's like saying nothing. So, I mean, there aren't enough minutes in the day to describe that experience. But for me, rest assured, that was one of my absolutely favorite things. The next one, I have to give it a lukewarm. Not that I really don't like it, but next in order. I mean, it was an important job. Did I love it at the level of teaching? No, I'm not going to lie to you. That was a job that subsequently, it was just like to it felt like getting back into like the corporate kind of thing. But I worked as a medical office manager for a number of years after the teaching. That was, yeah, well, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot about human behavior, learned a lot about working with doctors. I mean, it's fascinating, to watch certain things, and in certain things was quite rewarding, but in certain other things I was like shaking my head like wow, like that's all I could say, like wow. And then the way it ended up, at that story that I had mentioned 1,000 times about the layoff, like all those years later, for example, I mean, never late for work, always on time, hardly ever took a day off, and people liked me. I never had a problem or difficulty. They had a mismanagement issue, and as a result, a bunch of people were laid off on the same day. It happened to be Valentine's Day of that year. And it's so funny the way they do it on a Friday afternoon. How cute, right? On a Friday afternoon. But they gave us a 2 weeks notice. We weren't fired. We were laid off. But subsequently, with a layoff, you just don't know if things are ever going to get back to normal. And you can't just sit around waiting, hoping, wishing, and praying. You got to take action. And so basically, that's what I did. I got another position in a few months later in a different organization. But although it was a very important job, I would not label it as one of my favorites. I met a lot of celebrities. That was the fun part of it. Fun and yet not so fun because when you work with celebrities, they have their own quirks and things of that nature. And I was the type of person, and will always be the type of person. I treat everyone equally. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you're not a celebrity. You're a person, and whether you're a celebrity or not, you're going to get the same treatment from this person named Jan. That's just the way it is. Because sorry, you might be famous, you might be celebrity, but you're not better than anyone else. This is just the way Jan feels. Maybe other people think differently, but I can't fib it. That's just the way I feel. That's just the way I was. And as a result of that, people kind of liked me a lot more for it. They're like, wow, this is the real deal here. Yes, the real deal. Um, now, a couple of jobs I was totally not a fan of. Like, absolutely, totally not. Zero, nada, zilch. No way. Would never do it again. Fan of being a landlord. What? Yes, there was a period of time that I took all those like TV real estate courses. I want you to flip houses, all those things back in the day. Yeah. Looks great on TV. Looks great even in the book. Looks great on any audio tape, whatever it was I was watching the videos back then. This is back in the late '90s, early 2000s that I got so interested. It was just a big old sales pitch, and it is not for everyone. That much I could tell you. It is not for everyone. That is for sure. So at a period of time, just years ago, and I said, okay, so did this. It's a lot less glamorous than people think. There is a huge responsibility factor. You feel like that, that property that you're the landlord of, you feel like you're on a chain or something, like on a leash. And nah, wasn't for me. I'm not, not that kind of person. I'm like a like a free bird kind of person. So for a person like me, nah, not for me. So yeah, I did it. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I had the experience doing it. Would I ever do it again? Absolutely never again. Never. Now, for some people who are successful at it, I congratulate you. God bless you. That's the way God wired you to be able to deal with that. And for this person behind this microphone, nah, 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 nah. Of course, I forgot to add the brief time that I was doing like some little broadcasting gigs and stuff of that nature. Love, love, love. I'm a talker. I'm a talker. So for me, I speak. I'm a talker. That's what I do best. I run my mouth. That's the best thing I could do. Uh, Everybody's cut out for doing something differently. I would say that I am okay with communications. Okay, so having said that, um, okay, what was the other thing? When I worked for a cosmetic packaging company, it's not like a job they really disliked completely. However, I was only there during the summers, and I did that in between, in teaching. I got out in June, had all of summer off, was an opportunity to make extra do re mi. So that's a good thing, right? And people there were very nice, and I salute all the people working there. But it was kind of like repetitive. There was no challenge. So so for me, it's like, okay, repetitive, no challenge, packing sample boxes. It was important. And by the way, every job, this is the way I feel about it. And yes, there goes the bird clock again. Every job, in my honest opinion, is important. I don't care what anybody says. Like a lot of people like to undermine things, and oh, I don't do that. A job is a job. And if you do a great job of it, that's what counts. You get up every day, you dust yourself off, and you go to that job. I salute every worker. Every worker. I don't care what position you hold. As long as you're doing a great job, that's what counts. To me, in my mind's eye, that's what counts, doing a great job. And then, of course, naturally, if you want to do something better than what you're doing now, if you don't like what you're doing, there's always the opportunity and the flexibility to change it. Now, sometimes, of course, you can't just run away from a job, and you got to put food on the table, right? So my suggestion is to start small, do something at home on your own that you love to do. Even if you talk about stuff that you love to do, or share the knowledge of what it is that you love to do. Be a tutor, be a teacher, be a communicator, do a YouTube channel, do any platform channel. I'm kind of like a laser focused kind of person. Did you notice I'm only on this platform? I have the opportunity. Actually, I have some of my stuff out there on Spotify. I still have to update that from a long time ago. But I'm kind of more like a laser focused person type thing when it comes to, the communication thing, doing the videos and all that. And absolutely, I love doing this. Of course, I get to share messages all the time and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you a review of some of the stuff that I did that I was like, yeah, 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 I really, really liked. And some of the stuff, oh, yeah, well, and of course, the winner of the least favorite has to be landlord. So I totally relate when, for example, I saw some Prepper Princess videos where she had some situations going on over there. Thankfully, I never had that, and I only was landlord for a short period of time. But looking back, that hey, you never know what kind of people or situations you're going to get. Even though you think you screen them out and all, it's just a responsibility that for me personally, it's also a messy job. And for me, nah, wasn't a fan. Just wasn't a fan. But I take my hat off and I salute for the people that do those kinds of things, the messy jobs, the non-glamorous jobs. These are the unsung heroes of the world. And I really think that more should be said about it. But to let you know that I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope I brighten your day for a minute or two. Don't forget to click like, share, and of course, subscribe. Take good care of yourself and your amazing family. Thank you.